Okay, here is part 2 of my D&D module, the Lair of Grud'in-nu'ak, the Hobgoblin. And Grud'in-nu'ak is just a name that I came up with because I wanted to come up with an interesting, odd-sounding name for a big Hobgoblin chieftain, or Hobgoblin king, whatever you want to call him. So this is part 2. In part 2, you're going to see all of the creatures that are in this module. And part 3, you will see the map and the actual layer. This is a module that you might want to consider using in between two adventures for whatever reason. If you wanted to do a big battle thing, if you wanted to do a coordinated battle prior to going into another adventure, this might be a module that you'd like to try out. So we're going to get into the actual battle now. That's going to be the basis of the purpose of this module that I wrote. And we are starting with as the party approaches the lair. And you can see part 1 where we ended. Okay, I'll just read it and we'll see how this goes. Obviously, I can't provide a map for you to see. As I'm writing this on my blog, I can't provide a map, but that's not all that important. I will try to show the map. I'll show it. I don't know how good it'll look on the camera, but we'll try it out in part 3. Their lair is deep in a dense forest. Plenty of trees are near the cave entrance, which is well covered with vegetation. So it's only by following their tracks that they will be found. A normal person would only spot their cave on a 1 in 12 chance at best. Any search in the area would find it fairly easily, but with the hobgoblins on high alert, guards are posted outside. Obviously, the best action for the party is to approach with caution and properly assess the situation that lies before them, but that's entirely up to them. Hobgoblin guards. Standing outside the cave entrance are 2 hobgoblin guards. They are armed with banded armor, large shield, long sword, and long bow. Grud'in-nu'ak has them all very well equipped. The purpose here of just appearing to have 2 guards guarding their cave entrance is to attempt to lure the party into their trap. Inside the cave are 4 more hobgoblins, all on high alert, who will sound the alarm with their horns the moment the guards outside are attacked or cry out. Also on guard are 8 more hobgoblins hiding in the trees. They are well camouflaged, only a 20% chance of seeing them, and any attacks at them are 50% likely to hit the tree. From this place, they can all easily fire their longbows, possible bonuses to their attack rolls for higher ground, let alone to their defense for the same, in addition to the 50% protection from the trees. Further in the cave are the following: 2 ogres, 6 wargs, and 12 more hobgoblins, a hobgoblin shaman, and Grud'in-nu'ak with his 4 wives, along with 15 female hobgoblins and 21 young. Okay, stats for each group plus treasure carried. Now you won't follow all of these stats, but it's easy to switch it over, but I'll explain it real quick here. 6 hobgoblin guards, I'm just marking them as level 2 plus 2. As opposed to a typical hobgoblin, they're a little tougher. Hit points 15. They have a plus 3 attack bonus, plus 5 defense bonus, and their defense is from banded armor, a large shield, and dexterity. They do damage D8 plus 2 with a sword, D8 for a longbow. Fighter skills, that's a thing that I do. They have an attack and defense skill. That's my fighter skill points. I think I made a video on that. These guys are 6 feet 6 inches tall. Their treasure is 66 coppers, D6 plus 3 silver, and their experience, I've said, is 100 each. And I've already changed these things. They have strength of 16. I mean, this is a modified. I've changed them since I first wrote this. Their strength is 16. Their dexterity is 14. Their constitution is 14. So these guys are very tough and physically very well prepared for battle. Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma are low. And primary, this is Castles and Crusades system where you have primary attributes and secondary attributes. Their primary attributes are their strength, dexterity, and con, which means they have good saving throws against physical attributes and not good saving throws involving mental attributes. Their saving throws are poor. Okay, there's 20 hobgoblins, the regular clan. So they have a one hit die +4. I'm giving them more than this. My hobgoblins have 10 hit points. They get a +2 attack bonus, and they have +4 defense because they have banded armor and large shield, which gives them a +4 defense. In first edition D&D, that's armor class of 3, which is armor class 17 in 5th edition D&D. There's your transitions, your modifications. They do D8 +1 with a longsword because, again, they have a 14 strength. They're the typical size of a hobgoblin for me is 6 feet 4 inches. I think the monster manual has them at 6 feet 6 inches. I put them at 6'4". It's nothing. It doesn't matter. You can make these guys however tall you want them to be. They carry 3d6 copper, d4 silver, and they're worth 60 experience points each. Again, this is my experience points. You can adjust these however you wish. So they're almost as good as the Hobgoblin Guards, 14, 13, and 14. Not quite as good, but they're fine. And then you have 2 ogres with 25 hit points, and I do. These guys have two-handed swords, so I'm giving them D10 +6 because of their ogre strength. They have 1800 strength, which I don't know what that translates to in 5th edition. So D10 +6. They can hurl rocks for 3d4, something that I feel that ogres should be able to do. They have the ability to knock you down when they hit you. You have to make a strength or dex save with a challenge level of 3, meaning a -3 penalty to avoid being knocked down. But you can pick either strength or dexterity, whichever gives you the best chance. 9 feet tall, 300 experience points each. There's their strength, 1800. And I just calculated what the other stats might be. Dexterity of 8, con of 16. I don't know if that, whatever. 6 wargs, 24 hit point wargs, a +5 attack bonus. They do 2d4 +2. They're large, and I've got them at 200 experience points each. 15 female hobgoblins. My stats are pretty basic. They have 6 hit points. They have a +1 attack bonus, +1 defense, as opposed to +2 for the males. Their strength is 11, 8, and 10. Their physical stats and their mental are the same. 21 young hobgoblins who have 4 hit points, -1 attack bonus. They fight with a dagger. They're 3 to 4 feet tall, and they're worth 10 hit points each. The females are worth 30 experience points each. 10 experience for the young. The Hobgoblin Shaman, the one shaman in the clan, 3rd level, 13 hit points. He has Cure Light Wounds, Curse, Bless, Command, Darkness, Spiritual Hammer, and Flame Blade. Give him treasure. I've got him wearing a bone necklace, just something to, and those are his stats. And then here's Grud'in-nu'ak. I've got him with a level 5 monster, 28 hit points, +6 attack, +7 defense due to plate armor, large shield, and dexterity. So that would be a armor class of 1 in 1st edition or 19 in 5th. He does 2d4 +4 with a broadsword because he has an 1860 strength, 14 dexterity, 15 constitution. And you can see his mental stats are higher than the others. He has a 9 intelligence, an 8 wisdom, and an 8 charisma. And he carries, there's his treasure. And I've calculated him to be worth 500 experience points. His 4 wives are bigger than the typical, he's 7 feet tall. The women are, how did I say, they're 6 feet 2 inches right here. And so his wives are 6 feet 4 inches. Slightly bigger, that's all. And they have long swords, and there's their attack bonuses and stuff. And then just for fun, I wrote, note on hobgoblins carrying coins. Why do hobgoblins and other monsters carry coins? Do they buy things at their local hobgoblin supply store? No, they carry coins for the same reason people wear jewelry, because they like shiny metal coins. It's a matter of status. So I'm just writing that in there for me. Okay. On to the battle. Here we go. So here's what happens. This battle should be difficult to win. Grud'in-nu'ak has trained them very well. However, if he sees the battle going badly, he will become desperate and will cry out for a truce. saying he will release the prisoners in exchange for their lives, and that they have not been harmed. He will say that his troops acted foolishly, and it was never his intention to kidnap anyone, but that when they surrendered, his troops chose to bring them here instead of just letting them go. He apologizes and swears nothing like this will happen again, if only they all be allowed to continue to live here in peace. He swears there will be no more attacks on the road ever again. If this does not work, he and his wives and the shaman will attempt to flee, as will everyone else once they see their leader fleeing. But they'll be behind him, meaning they'll most likely be the first to fall, which he's hoping guarantees his escape. So those are his options. Combat strategy. The moment the alarm is heard, they will all move into battle positions. The alarm, that is the two guards alerting the four who then sound the horn, and begin a very coordinated attack as follows. If you're wondering how hobgoblins can be so smart, it's because Grud'in-nu'ak has trained them very well for a very long time for this very purpose, knowing how foolish, stupid his kin typically are. He has gone to great lengths to help them so that he survives along with his fellow hobgoblins. So he's simply been preparing because he knows that they could be attacked at some point, and he wants to make sure that they don't get killed. This is him being smart. So, round one, the alarm is sounded. The two hobgoblins at the entrance either fire arrows or move to engage in melee. The 8 hobgoblins in the trees either fire arrows if there are targets, or they'll climb down to engage in melee with the intention of attacking from behind or to flank them and attack them from the side, giving them a +1 attack bonus. Okay, the 4 guards inside the cave, after sounding the alarm, move outside to either fire arrows or engage in melee, attempting to attack by surprise and from behind if possible. The 2 ogres move towards the cave entrance. 6 hobgoblins mount the 6 wargs and also move towards the cave entrance. The last 6 hobgoblins also move up. The females and young move and hide in the back of the caves. The shaman goes to Grud'in-nu'ak, and they and his 4 wives start to move towards the entrance behind everyone else. Round 2. All hobgoblins outside continue to either fire arrows or engage in melee, always attempting to surround and or flank opponents for better attacks, as taught by their leader. The 2 ogres emerge from the cave and move to engage in melee. The 6 hobgoblins on wargs fire arrows once outside as the wargs move to engage in melee, utilizing their speed for flank and rear attacks, if possible. The last 6 hobgoblins move to the cave entrance but stay hidden and await orders from Grud'in-nu'ak. Round 3. Slide that up. Okay, the wargs continue to try to move around and attack from behind if possible. If the mounted hobgoblins have no clear targets, they hop off and engage in melee, also attempting to come up behind someone who's engaged with the ogres if possible. Grud'in-nu'ak arrives and assesses the situation while staying hidden within the cave, and most likely sends the last 6 hobgoblins out to either fire arrows or engage in melee while he considers whether or not he needs to escape. The shaman casts the most appropriate spell for the moment, staying hidden within the cave. Round 4. If Grud'in-nu'ak decides to engage, he has his wives flank him for protection. He can always get new wives. They obey and fire arrows if there are targets, or else they engage in melee. The hobgoblin that Grud'in-nu'ak cares about the most is the shaman, because hobgoblin shamans are very rare, let alone the protection they offer. Round 5. If at any point the battle looks to be going badly, he cries out, "See the battle above." Well, yeah, okay, I've said that. Otherwise, he engages in melee, screaming a battle cry that gives all his companions +1 attack for 1 round, and all his opponents who fail either a charisma or wisdom save, their choice, they suffer a -1 attack for 1 round. So if they fail their save, it's just for 1 round. It's a battle cry. If the party surrenders, to their shock, he spares their lives, releases the prisoners, and lets them all leave. So my purpose of this module, this battle, is not to kill the party, but to simply experience this interaction with this hobgoblin leader. So if they if the battle's going badly, he's going to cry out and surrender and beg for them to, let them live here. And if the party refuses and the noble guy says no, kill them all, then he's just going to flee. He's going to try to flee. If the thing's going bad and he's going to win, all they have to do is surrender and he'll spare their lives. He won't kill them. Anyone who's already dead, oh well. But that's the point. I'm not trying to kill the party. I am trying to give them a very tough battle. Even though they're levels 4 to 6, I'm hoping that this will be a difficult battle. He states that he hopes that his actions here of freeing them all results in their leaving him alone for good in exchange for sparing their lives. The reason for doing this should be obvious. If he doesn't, he risks further retaliation. By releasing them, he's hoping they never return. Survival is more important than anything else as far as Grud'in-nu'ak is concerned. He did not achieve all that he's achieved, only for it to end in an unnecessary battle. He will have his hobgoblins scout the road for weeks to see if any retaliation happens. If it does, they will all flee and settle somewhere else. If not, his reign continues, as does his fame and glory. And with that, we'll end it. And tomorrow I will read the rest of this, which is the Hobgoblin's Lair. And I hope you enjoy reading along with me. Bye-bye.